what you wanna pay, make what you wanna make, take what you wanna take, pray for what you wanna pray, say what you wanna say. A believer, a seeker, my own keeper, getting deeper. Indeed, you can back this up into your pipe like Master Diva. Cause if you leave a speaker reader like me up on your speaker, then be sure you will receive a peace of mind up on your meter. In a world as a mythological creator of these creatures that features many impostures, these divas and leechers. We'll see it in the bleachers, won't teach us to take action in the satisfaction of new ideas that are in the passage. Well, peace of mind if you are ahead of your time, and sometimes your bottom line ain't seen until your prime is behind. But if your rhymes move through time with the structured design, then the mind that it finds will ensure the vine will be fine. Say what you wanna say, play what you wanna play, trade what you wanna trade, pay what you wanna pay, make what you wanna make, take what you wanna take, pray for what you wanna pray, say what you wanna say what you wanna say, play what you wanna play, trade what you wanna trade, pay what you wanna pay, make what you wanna make, take what you wanna take, pray for what you wanna pray, say what you wanna say.
We have Canadian tournament angler Mike Williams, Kyle Carruthers from Garmin and Daiwa, Canada,
and so much more.
Before we get the Fear Fishing experiment started, let's hear a word from our sponsors. The RLM Elite Box from simplefishing.ca is the subscription box with the most hard baits. This box comes every second month for you're not overloaded with boxes, but the selection is second to none. Bass box, pike box, walleye box, a multi-species box, and one of our favorites, the ice fishing box. We'll solve all your fishing needs. You'll catch more fish. You'll get baits that you've never tried before. Use discount code FearFishing at checkout. Save $10 on your first RLM Elite Box. Simplefishing.ca. Mike Carnegie isn't only part of the Fear Fishing family and an angler. He's a financial advisor with Northstone Wealth. Mike wants to help you plan for your future. He wants to set your retirement up for you can spend as much time on the water and with your family as possible. But the time to set it up is now. You start pre-fishing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for that big tournament on the weekend. Financial planning is exactly the same. Give Mike a call at 905-925-0663. Not only would Mike like to help you out with your financial future, but new clients get their very own RLM Elite Box. Call Mike at 905-925-0663 today. Good afternoon, fellas, ladies.
Afternoon already.
Man,
Hi.
2 shows in one day. What do you think about that?
You know, I'm still pumped from the last one.
Oh, dude,
We
wasn't that
probably could
unreal?
have done a show all day.
We probably could have.
You know,
Yeah.
because we know lots of words.
maybe that is a good idea. Maybe next year we get a booth up in the big window and we do like spring fishing show live.
There we go.
We just do all day commentating about the fishing show.
Yeah,
That'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
It
we
could
can do that.
happen.
We could do 8 hours.
easily.
If
Easily.
JT Kenny and Marty Stone can do 8 hours, we can do it.
How many pee breaks would Mark Hunter have in 8 hours?
That is a good question.
8.
I went before we came. That's why I was a little bit late. So
Last
I'm
time
good.
on the last show, I had to really rush us through because I had to. I was
yeah, we
about
know.
dying.
Then we had to end at noon too. We didn't want to cut into
No,
Bob's showtime.
Bob's
right?
show. That was how cool was it to have Bob Azumi?
Oh man!
On the show.
You know, the guy is a true legend of Canadian bass fishing. Well, fishing altogether, all species really, not just bass.
I feel like Bob's a national treasure,
He is.
He is.
100%.
He is.
right? When I can remember working,
I got a pillowcase with Bob's face on it.
you really?
Oh, wow.
No.
I thought that was my
Did you
face.
see that Justin Trudeau shirt?
I did.
The Baywatch one,
I
but it's Justin
did.
Trudeau.
Has
says
Danny Dunn
Canada?
seen that? Because Danny Dunn
Danny
will
Dunn
want
is
it.
a huge fan.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you think they know us? Do we have to introduce ourselves?
Of course we do.
Oh,
Okay,
sure.
Ian West here. I run this horse and pony show. What's up, my man? The Mark, go.
Mark Hunter, I don't run this pony show.
No, just co-host it.
Yeah,
Do you,
kind of.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you feel better that we're in the inside of the booth, or would you rather have been on the outside?
Well, I get distracted really easy, so it's really hard for me to keep concentrated and listen to what's going on and look at all the wonderful faces out there. You know what I mean?
When people are winking, I lose concentration.
And people are trying to make you
put
laugh
me on
too,
the right
right?
side. I'll tell you
Yeah,
that
yeah.
right now.
All right, sir.
Thank you, Sandy.
Introduce yourself. Yeah.
Thank you.
Scott, Simple Fishing.
Yeah. The RLM man.
Yeah.
Here,
Stop
all the
by.
way from Alberta.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Check the show out for the weekend.
We're going to get back to you in
What
a
do you
second. Well, yeah. What do you think?
Mind blowing.
Yeah.
Mind
Anything
blowing.
like this where you are?
No. The Edmonton Boat and Sportsman Show is not focused on fishing the way this is. This is
Yeah.
amazing.
This is a fishing show.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah, this is a fishing show.
This is definitely a fishing show.
And you're here to network and make your product even better.
Absolutely.
If
And
that's
mingle
possible.
and buy. I spent a ton of money so far, so I'm,
Yeah.
I'm a customer too.
Stuff
Wait
you
till you try and get back on the plane.
Yeah.
Overweighted.
Check luggage this
Yeah.
time.
And our staple figures on the FearFishing experiment.
Yo.
What's up, man?
What's up?
We're
Yeah,
talking about
bud.
Amber.
Oh.
Yep, me.
My name's Sean McCall. I'm the guy that rides the pony sometimes.
I was going to say I was the pony, but I'm not going to say that now.
There we go.
That is awesome. It's taking a turn for the worse.
Yeah.
Do you, are you guys having fun?
Yeah.
You guys have been smiling all day over here.
Yeah.
Like when this is
We
the
get to
place
look at
be.
you guys.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
That's
Short end of the stick.
Yeah, it is.
So, Mr. Simple Fishing,
What's happening?
what's going on? What like? So we had a conversation outside. You were so far out in Canada's west. When you started the Simple Fishing Box, you had no idea there was even anything out there like this.
I didn't know. I started fishing late, and then
Yeah, you didn't start fishing till 31. You said.
31. I didn't catch anything until 32. So I
You're gonna fit in just fine at this table.
yeah. So I know what the lures not to use.
Yes, quickly. So how did you come up with this? What made you decide to do this?
Well, I'm from a small town, so there's not a whole lot of options. I just walking around Canadian Tire. Just
Yeah.
has to be a better way to be introduced to the new products. And fishing is so big. There's so many new products every year.
Yes.
I find amazing idea. Subscription box.
And you know what? When you when you're at Toronto, there's all kinds of options. But if you're in like rural Canada, you may not have a huge selection of what's the newest baits or the newest company coming out. And the RLM box,
Or you may have to travel to get it.
that's right.
This comes right to you.
And it's something new all the time, and it's new baits, and it's probably stuff you haven't seen.
Yes, we try to put a good mixture of brand names that you know and love and new guys in there.
Yeah.
Like the maybe garage businesses or like the medium-sized businesses.
Yeah.
Or we really try to introduce people to new lures every month.
Well,
that's our
a big-
goal.
That's a big thing in fishing too, like that indie company, like soft baits, like hand poured,
That's right.
that kind of deal is a big thing in this industry.
Yeah, every month we open a box, we fight over stuff.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.
Honest to God. Yeah.
One of the big things I can do that my bigger competitors can't is deal with those medium-sized
Yeah.
brands, right? Because they can't make the amount of lures that those guys would do. So
Yeah,
I
I
come in
gotcha.
at that medium range,
Yep.
and they can work with me. So I'm introducing a whole lot of brands that way.
So during the day, what do you do? What's your full-time gig?
Coal miner.
No
Coal
way.
miner. No, I thought you'd be
That is
dirtier.
badass.
Yeah. So do you?
Yeah,
like,
that is
are you
pretty
the guy
bad.
who goes underground?
No.
Aw.
I'm like the little girl coal miner. I
With
work
a
Wait, what is
beard.
that supposed to mean?
yeah.
I'm
tough as,
offended.
tough as nails.
Tough as
I'm offended.
I'm inside where I'm mostly inside where it's warm.
Nice.
Yeah.
What kind? Like, so is there guys like underground?
No, it's
just
all above
new school.
ground. New school, yeah.
See,
big,
when it-
big trucks. And
When
big-
Scott told me over chatting that he was a coal miner, I could picture like the hills in West Virginia in 1930.
The miner's have
Yeah.
a blade on top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
He's
Like-
got a budgie on his shoulder.
the way you guys talked about it, I knew what you were thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Are they ever going to be disappointed?
like Scott in an elevator with a canary in a cage going under like one tier.
Budgie, canary, whatever.
Hey man, why's your bird dead?
Yeah. We'll
What?
see you in 48 hours.
Wow.
So, what did you think when you got here to the Spring Fishing and Boat Show?
I thought I'd be walking around, kind of hands in the pocket, just quick in and out.
Yeah,
an
good
hour,
luck with
come,
that.
Come see you
Yeah.
guys, and that'd be it. But I talked to everybody. I had trouble leaving yesterday.
Really?
I said no to the OFC and Canadian Fishing Network guys,
Yep.
and like an hour after that, I left. It's
No
like
way.
I'm trying to make my way to the door.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
You see people that I email with and I deal with, but
Yeah.
I've never met, and you stop and you talk, and everybody's so nice that you talk for at least 20 minutes.
Now, would you like somebody who is out of province? Is this show big enough that you should make a trip if you're like hardcore fisherman? Is this like a lifetime you need to be at the Spring Fishing and Boat Show?
Yeah, I've actually debated years coming out here.
Yeah.
But I was like, is it worth the money?
Yeah.
To come out here, and I was talking to the wife about this today. I'm so glad that I came. It was worth
Oh,
every
that's
penny.
awesome.
We're glad
that's
you
super
came,
cool.
man.
Yeah.
Next
Oh,
time
yeah.
the wife has to come.
Absolutely. Like
Yeah.
I'm missing the wife and kids. It's my first time flying or leaving them behind.
Oh, yeah?
You were a little nervous when we talked before you got on the plane.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
your
yeah.
first time flying, period?
No.
Oh,
Like going,
just without them.
yeah. Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah. I'm still real nervous right now. Don't.
Yeah, on the show.
Don't
Yeah.
be.
Yeah, this is no big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what are some of the things you've seen that you were most impressed with? You can say bait companies and stuff or anything you want. This is an
Yeah.
exciting time. Is there anything out there that you came across that you were like, oh wow?
Well, well, Panther Martin. We talked to them.
Yes.
They've agreed to be in the box. So when I go back on after the show on Monday and Tuesday, contact them. Savage Gear didn't say no, so we're gonna be talking to them. Daiwa.
Daiwa.
nice.
That's what
Yeah.
you're waiting for, right? That's what
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
waiting
yeah.
for.
Well, here's the interesting thing. Panther Martin is like a staple of the fishing community. When I was a kid, and you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
know old man
Everybody
Craig.
had a
Oh,
panther.
yeah.
Yeah. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, the only
Can you just explain what that is?
it's like a little tiny spinner, like
Oh.
kind of like an old school.
I had
bait.
one pulled out of my head.
Really?
Did you?
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
You sure they got it all
I
out?
stuck it in there by myself too.
No way.
Yeah, I did. I was doing the old lasso
work.
cast.
The old lasso.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Ask my brother.
Classic.
Yeah.
The Panther Martin is the first bait I can ever remember. Craig used to take us down to the Ganaraska when I was Ashton's age, and we would go down there and cast spinners for trout. And that is for sure the first bait I ever bought.
Yeah, like back in the day when you went into Canadian Tire, they had Meps, they had Panther Martins, they had Red Devils, and
Yeah.
a couple
Panther
hooks.
Martin made that
yeah, you know what I
sound.
mean?
The
There wasn't a
Panther-
lot of.
Like it was the first bait I
Yeah.
can remember really, really wanting because it was so different. It made that sound.
Yeah.
You just gotta have it. Right?
And you know what? When you flip them over on the blade that's got the Panther on them, they were like kind of
Yeah.
badass.
Yeah.
Wow, I need to see one of these.
Yeah. Are they here? The people are here?
Yeah,
It's such a cool bait.
They're-
Did like years and years, and they make some big ones, like musky ones.
Yeah.
I think if I was going to, if somebody said, we're going to drop you off in Northern Ontario, and you can bring a fishing rod and reel and one bait, a Panther Martin, and be it. 'Cause
You think
can
so?
catch everything.
My one bait would be a silver Vibrax.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
No way.
Same.
Yep. A number 4, number 5 silver Vibrax.
Number 2, Meps Black Fury.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I would do the Panther Martin, black body. The bodies on them are like balsa, aren't they?
I'm not sure.
Or they used to be. Black body, copper blade.
Nice.
Maybe with like yellow dots. That's how old school that is. That's a great bait. So
Nice.
so in between shows, what have you guys been up to?
I've been chatting. You get like 2 feet, you chat,
Yep.
and then you get another 2 feet, and
Blinders.
then chat.
You need
Yeah.
blinders.
So
Yeah.
there's so many people. It's such a social thing here for, you come long enough that you get to know a lot of people, and
Yeah.
you don't see them very often. We haven't seen a lot of these people since the summer, and show season is the time when we all get back together, and I look forward to it. I really do.
You know what it reminds me of?
Yeah.
When I was 18, walk around the bar. You walk to
Yeah.
10 steps.
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of.
It's
Yeah.
like the year after high school when you haven't seen everybody. You know, like when you
Coming
saw
back
that
from
group of
college.
people every day,
Yeah.
and then there's like that big gap, and then you go out for the brews
Yeah.
for the first time, and you're like, hey, I haven't seen
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I remember it took hours to walk around Cowboys. That's where we always used to go, was the
Yeah.
bar. And then I think the last time I went, I was doing my 20s.
Yep.
It took me about 20 minutes to walk around. I
No
never
way.
went back.
The Cowboys, eh?
Yeah, that was the bar.
That was the place.
Yeah.
Now, another thing that people didn't see behind the scenes is Matt Pizzetta put on a spread.
Yeah, he
Oh.
did. Yeah.
He can cook, eh?
Hey, I just
Yeah.
want you guys to know I cut up the avocado.
He did.
Yeah.
I
He
did.
cut
Dude,
up
I
the
went in
avocado.
there and you
Right.
had your hand squishing it in some bucket, man. It was kind of
Yeah.
erotic.
Yeah, it was different.
Just saying.
There's Greg,
him out of
my
there.
narc-
yeah. There's the first guy trying to make us laugh.
Yeah. You guys can't see him off camera, but Greg is he's my he's my Lex Luthor.
He's wearing the
Mr.
hat like
Greg
you even said.
Coons.
Look, I got it like Ian.
Yeah.
Would you come back to the show again, Scott?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Trip to Ontario? Here's
Hope
a
so.
good question. You Westerners don't like us Ontarians very much.
What do you mean?
Yeah,
but-
they call us unterrible.
Well,
Unterrible?
well, I'm from Newfoundland.
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Wow.
by the thunder and Jesus.
Hi,
I was
Toner.
getting on there by now. What?
What?
So everything's changed
Stare
now.
at chat. Come where you
Everything's changed
Yeah.
now. So you've lived in Newfoundland?
I was born there. I grew up in Fort McMurray.
Oh,
which is-
okay.
yeah.
I was gonna. Do you ever travel back to Newfoundland?
No, not often. I think I was 20-something last time I was there. It's been
Oh,
a long
nice.
time. Yeah.
So what do you think of Ontario? Are we as mean as you Westerners claim we are? No, we're all right.
We got nothing with you guys. I think it's.
It's funny
I
because
don't
he's
wanna
looking
get-
at me weird.
Yeah. He doesn't want to say the wrong thing.
He's
eh?
gonna get punched.
Oh, that's
I'm
awesome.
outnumbered here. And this guy's pretty big.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Well, sir, thank you so much for joining us. Is there any final thoughts you have? You got a
You got a
favorite
good fishing story?
Yeah, you got a favorite fishing story?
I wish I could come up with something cool, but
you
I
don't-
can't.
You didn't got it?
No,
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Anyway, we're gonna let you go.
Yep.
Mr. Luzak is gonna jump in here. Thank you so much for joining, my man.
All right, guys. Thank you.
All right,
we'll
thank you,
we'll see you
Scott.
tonight at the party.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay. I mean, looking forward to it.
Yeah. All right. Cheers,
Thank
man.
you, my
Thank
man.
you.
That's pretty cool. I really
Yeah.
like getting the subscription box. It's
Yeah.
been a lot of fun.
It's like Christmas every month.
It is
right?
like Christmas.
Every other month.
Like
Every other
surprise,
month.
and it's not like
Come
the
here, my
Christmas
man.
that you've already
Yeah.
been under your mom's bed. You know what you're getting. You know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And here
right.
we go. Here's our next guest.
Mr. Eric Luzak, what's up, my man?
Yeah.
Yeah,
man.
just like that. On to the next one, eh?
On
Yeah,
the next
yeah,
one. Just boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, no time
I'm
to
telling you,
waste.
Tight
next year,
ship
8
here.
hours.
Pardon?
I'm telling you, next year,
I
8
think
hours.
next year we do 8 hours.
Is this like Trade Center on Sports Center?
Yeah,
or
it's
Pretty
Sportsnet?
well,
Yeah.
but
Well,
better.
Well, let's talk. Well, before we jump into the FLW stuff, yesterday, Pure Fishing, Daiwa were having they were talking about trading some of their pro staff back and forth.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my name was
The
brought
deadline.
Yeah.
There was an offer of 4 pro staffers for me. It was rejected. But then when I came in this morning, Greg told me I was on waivers and I hadn't been claimed yet.
Oh, interesting.
So who knows what's going to happen by the end of Monday?
Yeah.
Daiwa wants to keep me because I was helping cook.
Yeah.
That's the important thing on the Daiwa list.
We can survive.
He can cut avocados. He's in.
That's that.
So Eric, it's kind of confusing for people outside of the loop and who weren't there. So let's you fished the FLW Canada Championship
Yeah.
in Trenton. We were all there.
Yep.
Yeah, you kicked our butts.
Yeah, we did. We did Horby. I actually saw you on the
Yeah.
water.
Yeah.
But let's go through that event first.
Yeah. Well, that one surprised me too, to be honest. We didn't have a great pre-fish. I mean, had one day was okay, and we're like, well, whatever. Quinny's known for that, on
Yeah,
one
yeah.
day and off the next. But well, yeah, the whole way it works is it's as simple as this: you sign up for an FLW Canada event, and if you win that, you go on to one more event, and if you win that division, you're at the Cup. So it's 2 tournaments, and you're at the Forrest Wood Cup potentially.
Oh, no way. Sorry, I just got an update that Chris Johnson slipped into 9th place. He's going to make the
Oh.
pod.
Interesting.
Isn't that
See,
cool?
this is like Trade Center.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got live.
Yeah.
Live updates.
Greg's in the background going, And I'm like, what? Yes. But that's super cool. So you and Ashley won. Oh, we were there for the final
Yep.
weigh-in. That was
Yeah.
a super exciting
Yeah, it
moment.
was exciting. Eh?
Yeah,
right?
they did a good job. Yeah, and Chris Jones came in. It was
Yeah,
great.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
super cool.
Yeah.
We,
Always a
our
good
buddies
show.
Cooper and Danny,
Yeah.
they led after day 1 and day
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
You thought we had it, and then you and Ashley came up and
We
had
were
the sack.
Yeah, we were just a little more consistent, I guess. But yeah, it was crazy. And then this ride's still going, and I guess I haven't even got to the cup yet. And it's already
So
such a big
second
deal.
step is you get to go to the Costa Championship.
Yeah.
You went in last November.
Yeah. So it was November 1st, 2nd, 3rd. So yeah, so the first and second place team from the FLW Canada Cup move on to the Costa Championship. So do there's 8 countries in the international division.
Yep.
So they've all done their own sort of championship. Could be a series, could be one thing like ours or whatever, and they've
Yep.
sent their 4 best. So it's from the top of that. So 2 pros and 2 co-anglers. And that's where it got a little bit confusing.
It is confusing.
Yeah, so Ashley and I, and like you guys, you
Yep.
fished as a team
Yep.
in Canada, and you fish for the same 5 fish, but I was technically the captain. I was the team captain.
Yep.
Ashley was technically my co-angler. She was very much a teammate. We were putting our heads
Right there,
together.
there.
We were sharing spots, sharing techniques the whole time.
Yep.
But then because I registered as the captain, and that's just that's the way it goes. The captain then goes on in the pro division for the Costas.
Yep.
And she goes down to the co-division for the Costas.
Yep.
So unfortunately, right there, the co-angler's journey ends at the Costa Championship in Gunnersville. Still an amazing opportunity.
is
for them.
huge. It's
Ashley
still-
fished with some wicked pros. She learned a lot. She was 1 spot out of the money.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
because
close.
they pay top 40. There's 196 boats or co's and pros.
Wow.
Still
So
a
she
hell
got-
of a show.
And you know
Still
what?
a
For anybody who's listening at home, being a co-angler is not easy.
No.
Like if you caught 5 fish every day
Well-
in any tournament like that, you're almost
Totally.
guaranteed a check.
Yeah, well, and that's what we cut. So the pre-fish was so tough on Gunnersville. We said that to the co's. If you guys catch a fish a day, you're going to get paid.
Yeah.
And then Sean Palmer was down there as
Yeah.
well.
Yep.
He qualified from the year before to make matters even more confusing. But anyway, he kind of had a tougher time as a co-angler because the way his pros were fishing made it very
Yeah.
hard for him to get on anything. Like his one pro was fishing around a bridge, casting his deep diving crankbait at one boulder right in front of the boat, and not letting Sean cast it, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you have to fish differently, and sometimes you're just kind of SOL.
Yeah, you're not going to
You
get
can't-
nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
my non-boater in day 2 outfished me, and I kind of want to kick him in the water. To be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah.
So he was a great guy, actually. I was really pumped for him when he put his last big fish in the boat, but I really needed that last big fish too.
So the on the pro side or the boater side of the Costa Championship, there's like a tournament and a tournament
Yeah.
inside of a tournament. Can you
Yeah.
explain that?
So the Costa Championship had 196 pros. That is 40 pros from each Costa division. I think there's 5 Costa
Yeah.
divisions across the U.S. So the top 40 from them are all there, and then we are there in the international division. I believe there was 18 international pros.
Yep.
So Cooper, Gallant, and myself for Team Canada.
Yep.
And then there's I don't know if I can name them all off now, the other countries, but it's like Spain, Portugal, Japan, China, South Africa. Oh, I'm doing pretty good.
Mexico.
Mexico.
That's
Australia?
close.
No, Australia, South Africa
Italy?
said that, Portugal said
No,
that, Italy, Italy,
Italy.
Spain. I think we got
We're
close to all
close,
of them.
yeah,
Pretty
yeah.
close. Pretty
Yeah.
close.
If
And
we-
then
yeah.
Cooper and I are just fishing against them.
Yes.
So now you're down there. I am in the full Costa Championship. I could win it like anyone
Yep.
else. So Kyle Walters won it. I could have been him. But what my main goal was to win the international division. I had to beat those other 17 guys, I guess. And then I advanced directly to the Forrest Cup the following year, 2019.
Yep.
But it also gives you a spot on the FLW Tour for 2020.
That's super cool.
That is wild.
Which that's
Super
the
cool.
first year the tour is invite only. As up to now,
Yep.
there was the pros that would qualify, but I think they'd always leave open spots, whatever that kind
Sponsor,
of meant.
yeah.
But now it's invite only, or
Nice.
sorry, qualification only.
That's super cool. Now let's talk about Gunnersville. Gunnersville isn't like Rice Lake.
No.
No.
But you know what though? Actually, in some ways it wasn't that.
But for
different.
body size,
It's long.
Yeah.
It's 121 kilometers long. I know some of this. I just
Yeah.
made a little presentation I'm going to talk about on Monday, so I have some facts fresh in my head.
Yeah.
And it's 69,000 acres in area, so it's huge.
wow.
Yeah.
It's a
it's a lot of
river.
water,
It's the
man.
Tennessee River, but it's a flooded section of it. So what you get is this deep riverbed that goes through the whole lake.
Yep.
And then shallow bars that come up, and then it'll be like 60 feet, 80 feet in the middle, whatever it is, and it goes up to like 4 feet.
Yep.
And then it'll kind of do that to shore. Sometimes then even dip down again and then go to shore.
Now, did
But-
you? Sorry.
Well, on those 4-foot ledges, what's different about Gunnersville is that they're full of grass, where other reservoirs, those are rock, sand, or whatever.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
this is like a grassy reservoir,
Yeah.
or weeds as we call it in Canada. I'm starting to sound American.
Yeah, grass.
Fishing the grass lines. But yeah, so it's a really grassy, matty lake. So in that way, it's not that much different than Rice.
You got is that what you focused on? You focused on those long bars?
Yeah. It's tough because it's full of all those little arms, and every arm you go in there, you'd see these bass busted on bait, and they're all pressured. There's 20 boats in every bay trying to catch them. Those fish were there. They weren't biting. They were pushing up this bait. But the ones that I found that would bite were out on those, because there's current. We're out on those current breaks along the weed lines, just on the edges and stuff.
So were you ledge fishing?
Yeah, essentially.
Like
Yeah.
big spoons and.
No, I bought a bunch of that stuff. Oh man, I
course
bought,
you did.
yeah. I bought so much stuff I didn't need.
Right.
No, believe it or not, I was in Alabama, so I threw an Alabama rig. And
yeah.
I was like, ding, like that's.
Makes sense.
I think this is from here, so yeah.
Yeah.
It
The
was-
cool thing about Gunnersville is there's a ton of pros who live on that.
Yeah.
Like that is like the
Yeah.
mecca.
Well, Boy Duckett was hanging out at our weigh-in every day.
Right, Swindle
Yeah.
lives there. Justin Lucas.
Yeah.
Like it's endless.
Yeah.
And I keep seeing online that they all like to live there because it's a lake that you can do everything.
Yeah.
Like you can practice everything you
Yeah.
need to do on the FLW or Elite Series, on that one body of water.
Yeah. Yeah, it's versatile. And actually, Alabama in general is very versatile. That's what they say. There's a lot of pros in the whole state, and
Yeah.
that's why, I guess. And
Yeah, for practice reasons.
Yeah.
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 Like
Chris
how long
Lane-
did you
Lane
stay
brother?
down? How long did you pre-fish for? Like
Well, you're only allowed 4 days, so
That's it. Like, you
yeah,
wouldn't- yeah.
unless you go down way early before the cutoff. So it's cut off at some point, like a month before. So some guys had spent time, and that's kind of what intimidated me about the international division, because I heard rumors of this FLW Italy guy that came over a month early, spent a whole month on the lake. You can hire guides sometimes, depending on the rules and regular.
Yeah.
But apparently he was out with guides. He bought a brand new boat for it. So I hear this, I'm like, oh, this guy's getting me dialed. Like, I'm screwed. Like day one, I had one bite of practice. I'm like, I'm screwed. Like I'm out of my league here. And then when the tournament actually starts, and by the time, so I had 4 days, so 4 full days of pre-fish. By the 4th day, I had a bit of a pattern put together, which was this current, around the edges of the ledges and some grass lines and stuff. And I was like, well, I think if I get 5 bites, I got a crack at this, because you talk to everyone. You go to the bars, for dinner and stuff. You talk to everyone. They're like, oh, it's tough. Like no bites in 3 days. I talked to several pros that over the 4 days of pre-fish got 4 bites over the entire 4 days of pre-fish.
wow.
Those
Yeah.
Italians, though, it's funny you say that about the Italians, because we were down fishing the World Championships in Mexico. The Italians were down there early, bought boats.
Yeah.
No way.
Oh yeah.
Bought boats?
Those guys don't mess around.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
tell you that right now.
Oh,
they
they
are
took it very
super
seriously,
serious about it.
So it's intimidating when you hear that,
Yes.
and like,
Yeah.
like, oh, here we're just some Canadian kids down here in our old beat up boats.
Hey.
My boat broke down on day one, actually. I forgot about that. On day one blast off, I wanted to run like 30 miles to my what I thought was my A water, and like two kilometers into the run, I dropped a cylinder. Ended up just being a wire came loose in one of my injectors or whatever. But so I was limping around for the rest of the day. I could barely get. I had to put my non-boater up to the front of the boat to try to get up on plane, and it take me like forever to get up on plane. So it kind of handicapped me. And at that point I thought my tournament was done, but I got to my new first spot, which was going to be my last spot because it's close to the ramp.
Yep.
And I got like a nice 3.5 pounder like right away, and I was like, oh, okay, that's a bonus. And then it's kind of
Build that confidence back into your day.
you don't feel as defeated anymore. But yeah.
So we were talking this morning about how many Canadians are going down to fish. Now, if you only have 4 days to pre-fish, how you cramming all that for the guys listening out there who want to inspire to go south, because that's where you need to go to the next level.
So what I did, Ashley and I won the Canada Cup like August 15th or whatever it was.
Around there.
Right after that, first thing I did, YouTube, Lake Gunnersville, fall.
Yep.
And I just started online fishing, and I did a ton of that. So I was obviously looking at the map. I had my Navionics open. I'd zoom around. I watched old live footage because there's a little bit of FLW live. The problem was most of it was from like March and times of the years that they're not in the grass. They're fishing like the more open water stuff. But I was still learning about the lake, learning like the local hot spots. All those honey holes are easy to find. Like it's obvious. So
Look for boats.
So, yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, there's 500 boats out there on my first day of pre-fish, so there's boats everywhere. But so I literally just researched as much as I could, and I took it seriously. Like I took it like a job. Like I was, I wasn't doing it 9 to 5, but I was doing it from like 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. I was researching.
Paid off.
Yeah.
But that's what you have to do, right? Like it's not possible to just go down there for a month during the break. We even talked about this with Bob this morning, that the learning curve online, like it's there for you to learn.
Mhm.
You can speed this up, right? And if you're thinking about getting into tournaments in Ontario,
Yeah.
all kinds of information out there, the same, and you can do the exact same thing you did for going to Gunnersville.
Yeah.
For our local lakes, learn, and then
Yeah.
compete.
You can. It's a little more secretive here, I've learned.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Down there, it's all about sharing information, and we've just kind of somehow built ourselves this little hole of secrecy here, and I'm trying to break that myself now. Even just this year, trying to tell my story more and be a little more honest with how I'm catching fish.
That's
Now, did you and Coop share any information? Did you guys work together at all?
We did.
or-
We're buddies, and we were supporting each other. But at the end of it all, I did find out he kept one thing from me, and I kind of kept one thing from him. But we went out for dinner almost every night, and we hung out. And
You had to buy him dinner every night?
Yeah, and we went out for dinner every night.
I know Coop.
Make
He
it
was
fun.
there.
No, Carrie was there. He looked after that.
Okay.
So
that's funny.
but like we knew we were fishing against. To be honest, in a lot, I think we both knew that we were each other's biggest competitor in that.
Yeah.
So I would have been absolutely pumped if he won.
Yeah.
Absolutely pumped for him because he
That's
deserves
super
it.
cool.
He's a
Yeah.
kid that absolutely deserves it. And I just told him today he's gonna get there. He's young
Yeah.
enough. He's got
Yeah,
the
yeah.
motivation. He's got the time. He's gonna get there.
Yeah.
As his time will come, and it wasn't then. But yeah, so yeah, we were totally sharing stuff. We met up on the lake and chatted a few times, and
Nice.
whatever. But yeah, so I was sharing more. So Ashley came down and pre-fished with me the whole time.
Oh, that's
and
really
so
nice.
her and I kind of kept that mojo we had from Quinny kept it going. Just kind of kept that.
Oh, nice.
That
Nice.
thing going. It was good.
Now, are you planning on doing the FLW Tour in 2020?
Yeah, 100% planning on it.
Yep.
Still working on. There's a lot of financial things I got to sort out.
Yes,
I mean,
for
I got
sure.
a spot, but I don't have a entry fee covered. It's expensive to do.
Yeah,
so-
absolutely. So,
so-
yeah, we hope we make it there.
Yeah.
Best of luck at the Forrest Cup.
Thank
That
you.
is ultra awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking the time to do this. But before I let you go, we need your best fishing story.
Oh, right. Yeah, I forgot to warn about this.
Yeah.
I gave him a kind of heads up.
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
did?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
Sorry, was it supposed to be spur of the moment?
Yeah.
Way better when there's
Yeah.
the panic.
Yeah. No, because I do have a good one, and it's one. It's a kind. I guess it's kind of a corny one, but it was from when I was, I don't know, 9 years old or something like that, really
Yep.
young. So I grew up on Balsam Lake. I had a cottage in Balsam Lake. Really fortunate in a good spot at Balsam Lake. Where there's lots of bass right in front of my house. My dad didn't really fish, but he would take me out because I'd beg him to go. So one night we're out in a little 12-foot tin tippy and fishing just in front of our house. There's this weed bed there. And it was time to go in. It was dark. He's like, no, Dad, one more cast. He's like, all right, one more cast. So I was a dumb kid. I wanted to do a funny cast. So I cast it behind my head
Yep.
with this hula popper. And then it landed, and then I heard, I was like, what the heck? So I turned around and started reeling this thing in. It's dark. I can't see. It's like pulling me in the water. And I ended up landing a 5-pound smallmouth bass. It was by far the
Oh,
biggest
that's
fish I've ever
awesome.
seen. And, we netted it somehow and landed it. And then, of course, as a kid, so I got it mounted because that's what you do.
Yeah,
as a
yeah,
kid.
that's what you
So it's
do,
on my
yeah, yeah.
wall now, and that
That's
hula
super
popper is
cool.
still hanging in its mouth. But I
Oh,
really
sweet.
think that was the fish that got me into competitive fishing because
That's
up to that
super cool.
point, it was also bigger than the one my brother had caught the year before.
Did he get it mounted?
Yeah, he got that one mounted, so that's why I had to get mine mounted.
Nice.
But yeah, that stupid backwards cast right in front of my cottage at night.
That's a word you don't hear a lot. Hula popper.
Hula popper, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now
Yeah.
in tournaments, when you really need that fifth fish, that one fish, do you ever try that backwards cast?
No, but I probably should. Eh?
Yeah,
Probably
yeah.
should.
Yeah. I never
Bust
thought
the
about
hook.
that.
Just say that. One more cast.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you
exactly.
imagine going by Eric and he's got a hula popper on?
Yeah.
Casting for the dream.
Anyway,
That's
well,
awesome.
Yes.
Thanks
thank
for
you
having me, guys.
Yes. Thank you so much, and
Yeah.
best of luck your whole season, my
Yeah.
man.
And if anyone wants to follow my my journey, just Instagram's the best way.
Yeah.
I'm just simply at Eric Luzak, and I'll keep people updated on how it's all going. And
Oh,
You're
we
going
look
to be
forward to
doing shows here.
yeah.
Yeah, those are when can people come down here and
So Monday morning, we're doing what's called the Master Anglers Seminar Series. So I'm going in. I'll be talking in that. I think I'll be talking around 10 a.m. on Monday morning, and I'm going to give a little bit of a better detail. I got slides. I even have a flow chart made.
Nice.
Believe it or not,
Flow
yeah,
chart.
of how to
Nice.
get from Quinny to the cup, essentially.
That's
So
awesome.
that's a good name for it too. Quinny to the cup. Anyway,
when you do the
Yeah.
cup, that is a good.
Yeah,
title.
that's
That's a
a
good
great
title.
yeah, my name's not as good, but anyway.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you
thanks,
so
guys.
much, my
Thank
man.
you very
Have
much,
a great
Eric.
day.
Thank you. Awesome, thanks guys.
You know what?
Thanks,
We're
Eric.
getting messages from the Ike Live crew. Dave
Nice.
is watching live.
Hi,
I'm
Dave.
assuming on Facebook. I mean on YouTube since he doesn't watch on Facebook. But
For you, man.
Dave, shout out to you, my friend.
All right, thanks,
Yeah,
man.
take care.
Mikey Williams, can you get the other one too?
Wait, this
What's up,
way?
guys?
Look
Hey,
at
Miss Amber, can you
Pop off.
Oh, yeah.
And get-
You're doing it wrong, Mike. Oh,
right
boy.
there? He's waiting
Oh,
for you
boy.
behind him. Mikey, what's going on, homie?
not bad, not bad. Everything's
Come on,
going
let's
good.
go. We're just waiting for Mr. Carruthers. This is a shining moment for me.
Kyle, son, I got to go on with Kyle.
You got to go on with Kyle.
Yeah,
Sorry,
gotta.
man.
Follow Lucas and Luzak. Got his name wrong too.
That's all right.
Who's he? The FLW champ?
Yeah.
Canadian guy. Yeah.
How's it going, Mikey?
Not bad, man.
You having fun on the show?
You know, I always have fun at these
I
shows.
don't think I've ever seen you at a show or a tournament where you are not having a good time.
Hey, it's what I love to do, and you know,
Here's a question: how did you get into fishing?
how did I get into fishing? That's a fair question. I lived by the lake,
Yeah.
obviously. My grandmother had us a lot of the summers. My parents were both working. My
Yeah.
grandfather was working, and she was a school teacher. So living by the lake, she always picked up a rod, and that's kind of what got me into to fishing. My grandfather was in doing the ice fishing with him.
Yep.
My grandmother got me into fishing.
That's super cool.
That's
Yeah.
how many people can say that? My grandma.
Here's
That is so cool,
Here's
man.
an interesting story. My grandmother battled cancer for 26 years.
Wow.
And my mom had to go to college when I was about 13 years old, and my grandmother used to take me down to the Gannereska River I'm talking December when half the river was frozen, and she would sit in her car with the heat running and read books so that I didn't have to fish by myself.
That's awesome, man.
But
That's
you
great.
really need somebody in your life who is prepared to do that. And the last Christmas, she passed away when I was 13. The last Christmas present she ever bought was Ontario Federation membership, and I got a Babazoomi lure. And she was convinced I was going to be the next Babazoomi back then.
Sweet.
It's crazy.
You're,
But
you're on
you
your way.
really need somebody in your life like that. You know, we all don't have a super dad who's into fishing to take us and to learn from there. But there's always, every angler I talk to, there was somebody in their life who introduced them to the sport.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I do on a daily basis.
Yeah,
when
you
I'm
do so
guiding,
much
and
stuff.
I love introducing the kids to fishing and getting as many people involved in fishing as I can. Same with you guys.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
promoting it and everything.
I can't believe how many young people are at the show this year. Like,
Yeah.
psyched up,
Yeah.
pumped. Like, I was into fishing before I was 10, but these kids are like into fishing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
into fishing.
I seen one kid walking around with a better stick than I have.
Mr. Carruthers, introduce yourself.
What's going on?
do
Kyle
you-
Carruthers from Greywood Sporting Group. So I guess in layman's terms, Daiwa Garmin up here in Canada.
Yeah, man.
So-
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. Welcome to the show to you guys too. It's awesome having you guys over here and
We
chilling with us
appreciate
in our booth. And you know what? We're all having a really good time.
We are.
And
We had a
and-
ton of good
and
times.
You know what's cool is people at the show are commenting on it.
Really?
Yeah, they're like coming like, "What's going on here?" And they're looking around, like everyone's so relaxed, everyone's so friendly, and you know what? It's what we like to see, and you know, you guys are a big part of that. So thank you all.
Oh, our pleasure.
That's super
buddy.
cool.
Awesome.
So, what do you guys want to talk about? I'll
Oh.
make this totally awkward for you, Kyle.
What about fishing?
We can talk about fishing.
That'll work.
We do that sometimes.
Fearing fishing, maybe?
Fearing
I don't-
fishing?
I don't-
You know what? That's probably a question I get asked the most.
Yeah,
and
I was
don't-
gonna ask you that.
I don't. So originally, Marley and I came up with the name, and then people started asking. I was like, if you don't fear fishing, you've never fished in 7-foot waves on Lake Simcoe, you've never fished in thunderstorms. Like, it's not as easy as people think it is.
It's not all sunshines and butterflies.
You know what I mean? When
Yeah.
you talk to the average Joe angler, he thinks that you go and get a 2-4 bud, you hop in your aluminum boat with your 9.9,
Oh, yeah.
you go out to the middle of the lake and you get your red and white bobber and a worm and you chuck it over the side, and that's what people think you do.
Yeah.
And it couldn't be further from that now.
No, and it costs money to do what we do, right?
Oh, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
sure it does. Now, you're on the Garmin team.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Kyle.
Oh, I got to use Garmin
we'll,
Pan Optics
We'll
last
see
year.
what happens Monday
on
if
the
any
front
of
of
you
my
are still
boat.
with us. So
What do you think of the
Traded.
Pan Optics? Like that's the future of fishing right there.
Oh, it's game changer, man. It's total game changer.
Yeah, and I know you like to fish shell and throw the jig.
Yeah.
Are you still using it?
You can. The new live scope, it looks like it's going to be a game changer in that area too. You know, like I do a little bit of deep fishing,
Yeah.
and it's phenomenal what you can read from that graph.
It is.
it makes guys that can't fish good fishermen.
Hook me up.
It is crazy what
I might catch a two
just
limit.
scanning any underwater structure on the live scope, whether it's trees or rock piles or like you just pull up and you see stuff and you know exactly where they are, where to start your casting, if they're moving towards it, if they're it's a game changer.
Let alone aside from tournament fishing. When you do a ton of guiding throughout the year.
Yeah.
I found the best part of Panoptics for me was trying to find weed lines.
Yeah.
Like if you get blown off,
definitely.
Yep,
all you got to do is
exactly.
turn your head and you're like, oh, there's the weed
Yeah.
line. And before that, I can. Have you ever been out in your boat and it was like a little windy and you were catching fish on a weed line and then you're all of a sudden you're like, where did it go?
gone.
And you
Yeah.
spend so
Yeah.
much time trying to find it.
We did that before we had the Panoptics.
Yeah, we
on the
did.
boat.
Weed lines, ledges, anything like that. It's
crazy.
game changing.
We
And
used-
you know what? Like the biggest thing was when it came out, everyone's like, it's expensive, it's expensive. And yeah, it was. But even now, the Panoptics, which was the cat's ass 2 years ago, now it's the Live Scope. You can pick up a Panoptics transducer like pretty dang affordable right now, whether it's used or on one of our promos or anything like that. So it's not like it's not accessible to everybody now to get in on it.
So that's compatible with any Garmin unit, or
No, certain units like Echo Mapper above for Panoptics, and there's a couple generations of the transducers, like from PS21 to PS22 to the Live Scope. A few differences. So do your research, talk to one of us at the shows or your local Garmin dealer, and make sure that you're getting the right setup, because the last thing you want to do is buy a transducer that's not capable of your unit. But almost everything that is made the last 3 years is going to be capable in an Echo Map or above.
So you guys were CSFL Team of the Year
Again.
again.
Yeah.
Listen to this show off.
Tell us about your trip down south.
Man, I didn't want to leave. I was telling the story earlier here
Shout out
at
to
the
Dwayne.
show. I'm leaving Florida, 14, 15-pound bass swimming around with my bass boat. It didn't make any sense to me at all.
How was the trip though? How was the fishing down there?
It was great. We were just starting to get on them. I wish we had a little bit more time to pre-fish.
Yep.
But we were just starting to get on them. We finished well. I thought around 36th. I think we
Yep.
finished at a 200 of the best teams down there. So
Now you fished. Eric did the FLW. You did the bass version in the Bassmaster team event.
yeah, we qualified through CSFL.
That's super cool. And then how many days did you guys get to pre-fish?
2.5.
Wow.
So that's like a day.
Like
and a
that's
half
all you were
left.
allowed to, or that's all you could do?
They cut it off pre-fish a month before, so you could go out and pre-fish before that
Before
cutoff
that.
day.
Yeah.
But
It's Florida.
It costs money.
Yeah. Not everybody's balling,
That's
right?
right.
Like most of us are balling on a budget.
That's right. Living tournament to tournament. So
So over the years, and you've fished a ton of tournaments. I don't think I've ever fished a tournament that you weren't there. What got you from fishing with your grandmother to the tournament side of stuff?
I love competition. I come from a hockey, lacrosse, baseball background. So
Yep.
I just love the competition. And once I got a taste of tournament fishing, I was addicted.
Now, your kids play hockey. I see the Facebook posts all
Yeah.
the time. You're all over the place with them through the winter.
I'm missing the boys' playoff games this weekend to be
Oh,
here with you
no.
guys. Yeah, but they understand. They understand Dad's got a job to do, and I'm very fortunate to have family members and kids that
That's super awesome.
understand.
So
and
is the
help me.
guiding, that's your full-time job, Mike, or do you do something else?
I work for Curve Lake First Nation for 30 hours a week, and they're very flexible on my hours, so it allows me to run the business, and I've been very fortunate.
That's
that way
super
too,
awesome.
So yeah,
Excellent.
So Mike, are you just focusing on bass? Are you guys doing muskie, crabby? What's the deal? All year round?
guiding, muskie, everything.
Awesome.
We fish. We're multi-fish or multi-target fish.
Multi-species,
Yeah,
eh?
multi-species, and but the bass is
Yeah,
where my
that's where
heart
it's at,
is.
yeah.
We
The
took a
bass
couple of my
fishing.
buddies out during last summer, and they said they had a blast at the time.
Yeah,
Little Todd and Kieran,
Yeah.
Irishman.
yeah.
Yeah, they said they had a great time with Mike.
Well, you get to meet so many different people from
Yeah.
different backgrounds, and 99.9% of them I've had a great experience with.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
How do you like fishing out of that Crestliner?
Hey,
I was just gonna ask that.
Hey, that Crestliner is a beauty boat, and it's a beast. It's 20 foot,
Yeah.
and it's
It's got to be 20 foot wide, too, man.
well,
that
the-
thing is incredible.
the
That's
deck's
sweet.
a 96-inch deck on it, and
Great.
It's a wide boat.
It's just crazy, yeah.
So,
I
and,
love it.
and you notice in the even in the Elite Series and FLW, there's guys like John Cox runs. Yeah, he's
Same boat.
It's same boat.
Yeah.
That's kind of a game changer too, eh?
It's starting to creep back into the pro side of things, which
And
is good.
there's certainly a lot more affordable for people than great big glass boats.
They are, and that was one of the reasons that it drew me to them. Not only Paris Marine for
Yep.
their support and everything like that, but the Crestliner brand, the all welded hulls are just amazing.
Now you,
What's up?
How many tournament series are you fishing across Ontario there, Killer?
Oh, too many. I'm losing track here.
How
I'm losing track. I got. I don't know. I don't even know who my tournament partners are anymore. I promised myself out too many.
You're doing tournaments way out in the east. I don't think there's a tournament series I haven't heard you cover this weekend.
Well, you know what I'm trying to do is keep everybody on their toes and just wondering where am I going to show up on what day.
No.
I'm coming. I'm coming for you.
I'm fearing Kyle Carruthers.
So
I'm going to need a FearFishing jersey just for that.
yeah. So we tell everybody what we got going on this summer.
I mean, if you want to embarrass yourself a bit. But
So I got a message from what's the actual
John Dean at the Ontario Kayak Bass Tournament Trail.
and they sent me a huge email asking if I could support them or help them out in any way. So I called John and we had a great conversation. And I said, I'm balling on a budget, buddy, but here's what I'd like to do. I would like to go kayak fishing with you, and we can, I've never been in a kayak. I've never done this before. And I was like, but realistically, the kayak market is just a booming. Like, it's huge.
You know what's good about the kayak market? And I did it like a little bit. I've never like been a real serious angler, but a couple years ago, like before I had my own boat, like I was getting into the sport and stuff. It's affordable.
Yeah.
It's affordable for guys to get into fishing.
And they get them tricked out now.
Oh,
Don't
exactly.
kid yourself. Those things can't.
Like
you can trick them out to be quite expensive, though. Can you
100%.
not? Like, yeah.
But you also can go buy a $1,000 kayak, a good fish
get out on the
rod
water.
rollers, go out there, like anywhere, back rivers, back bays, while you're throwing a frog around, flipping trees, whatever. It gets people into the sport. People who are in the city don't
Yeah,
want
that's
to bring
right.
park boats, and it's not something that I do much anymore. Ever since I got my Crestliner a couple years ago, but it's I just like to see fishing grow.
Yep.
And that's one avenue that, when they approached us at Daiwa, sure, we can give you guys a little bit of club support with some prizes and product and that, which we wish we could do more of. But yeah, we're going to support fishing in general. So anyone that, gets a rod or reel in their hands, whether it's fishing from shore, $100,000 bass boat, kayak, tin boat for $9.99, I don't care. I just want to see people fishing.
Shout out to Dave Brosak, one of the greatest kayak anglers in the world.
This is why I'm so happy we are with who we're with.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
me too.
That's the
We're gonna get to
attitude.
that in a second. That is like that. This is a real.
Right.
Now, I said I would do the vlog. This guy hears that I'm going to do a kayak vlog, and he starts smack talking me. Right?
Well, actually, I should defend myself here. He's been chirping me like since he got here.
No,
Like,
no,
you
no.
know, it's like, oh, show up to the
No,
show,
no, no.
whatever. Let's. Oh.
So I said I'll do this kayak vlog, and I said I'll borrow Kyle's vlog kayak because you
No.
had money offered to me all last year, and I was like,
It started last year because I thought you three should do a tournament to change it up.
I'll do it.
So
In a
so
kayak?
I get one with a
I'll,
motor.
I'll follow you guys in my boat with a camera and a
That's-
defibrillator.
I think that's where we're
defibrillator
at.
for your heart.
I don't know who to put my money on
I've
there.
done-
but
get
no,
one
but
with a
listen,
motor.
I
want
fished a
motor.
lot out of a
so
kayak.
Kyle starts talking smack, and I was like, and he's like, I'm coming. I'm going to destroy you.
Yeah, it's not the
right.
same.
But I found out this morning that worst case scenario, I'm getting one of the tricked out ones.
I don't care, man.
So
I
it's
got-
like a Ranger.
Yep.
Yeah. So things are looking better for me.
That's right, bud.
like
You're in a
a
Ranger,
riot.
I'm in a Triton. Still gonna beat you. So
But we should get back to what you were just talking about, the Daiwa family. Like this is we came to our agreement just after this show
yeah,
last
it was
year,
almost a year ago.
Yeah, a year
right?
ago.
And I've never been part of a group that's so awesome. Go ahead, Sean.
The guy calls me up before I go anywhere, and he's like, "Hey, man, I just want to make sure you got everything you need. Is there anything you need? Anything I can do for you? You got to let me know. Give me a little bit of
Yeah.
time here." And I'll be like, "Okay, Kyle, maybe give me a couple of these. Well, we don't have them in stock, but guess what? I'm going to go find them." And he'll go store to store to store to find the stuff for me.
Yeah.
He did that for me last week.
Right?
Yeah. Anyways, it's what we do. It's what we do for everybody. We try to, and so don't gotta. I appreciate the props props guys or boys, but it's a lot bigger picture than just me. There's a whole team of us at Greywood and at Daiwa that allow us to do what we do. And
Shout
I'm
out
just a
to Greg,
small- I'm a
Team
small part
Corey.
of it. But yeah, honestly, behind the scenes, and this is gonna sound like I'm sucking up to my boss here, but Greg's the guy. So he makes it all happen. He's all over the country. He's managing the whole Daiwa thing, as long with a few of our other brands.
Yeah, but that
and-
attitude has to
Yeah.
come down the chain.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know what? And it's really in the last year, it's not like you're the Daiwa guy anymore. You're like one of our friends,
Yeah,
right? We
exactly.
talk all the time about nothing that has to do with Daiwa.
Yeah, he tells me
he's
that.
gonna
He's
get
like,
us a
"Daddy,
turkey."
West, he's hard to shake.
I know.
Yeah, it's like, holy crap, my
He's
phone's
like
ringing.
this.
It's
We're
Ian.
like
You're like
this.
a full-time job sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like
Sometimes.
8:30 at night. Oh, it's Ian calling again.
Yeah.
You love
I
it.
had an idea.
Yeah, I have an
That's right.
idea. What do you think?
But that's the kind of attitude that you
Yeah.
guys also need as well, right?
I'm
Yeah.
just kidding. We
It
love
matches.
it. No, you guys,
But
it's been fun working with you guys for sure. So let's keep.
We
it
do
going.
have a great time.
just keep it going.
What plans you got for? What do we got coming out at Daiwa this year?
We
What's
have
the big things?
a lot of cool stuff. Not a whole lot of it. I'm going to comment on what we've kind of released at the shows. Like our new Tatula 100 has been a massive hit. It's $199. You buy it, especially here at the show, you're getting a free Daiwa Huck jersey. It's been a huge hit. Our new Tatula line of bass rods and our new Kage rods. You know how to pronounce that one yet?
Kage.
Kage. Good.
Kage.
We've been working
Can you
on
spell
this
it?
all weekend.
C-H.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
K.
We got a new Red Rose LT.
Got him.
Red Rose LT on a spinning reel platform at $69. So a lot of cool stuff. And we have our big Daiwa sales meeting in May and getting ready for iCast.
J-Braid
And
brand.
J-Braid Grand, which J-Braid is our largest growing market share. Like, we're taking business there everywhere because that's a good product for an affordable price.
That's the best thing about
Yeah.
J-Braid is
And-
that you're not breaking the bank.
But I will say, next year, like going into 2020, we have some of the coolest stuff ever coming out, and I can't wait to start talking about it.
That's super cool.
Yeah,
Now
it's,
with
it's going to be another big year for us.
With the J-Braid 4, I just want to get through something here.
Yep.
The J-Braid 4, it's 4 strands, tightly woven, but it's not just for saltwater.
No, exactly. It was originally kind of came from our saltwater market, but we brought it over to the freshwater world. Took off huge. It's a little bit more rigid feeling. It's a little bit better if you're cutting, if you're fishing heavy cover.
Yep.
Stuff like that. So I like to say, you know what, run that on your bait caster. Run the 8 strand, which is a little bit smoother, a little bit quieter on your spinning tackle.
I'm a huge fan
And-
of the 4-strand.
And
Huge fan.
Exactly. And the 4 strand, like $14.99 for a 150-yard spool, like you really can't go wrong with that. So we've had really, really good success with that. And then the new Grand is actually 4 times more abrasion resistant than our 4 strand, and that stuff is insane. I actually had a chance to go fishing in the fall with Matt Pizzetta. We just got the Grand in on new Tatula 100s, and it fished amazing. So it's almost like, what do
Is
I
it
go
a lot
with?
stiffer? Like,
No,
are you going
it's-
to notice a big difference between the 4 and the Grand?
Yeah, you're gonna notice a difference for sure.
Or the 8 and the Grand, I guess. Is it more
I-
comparable to the 8?
It's more comparable to the 8.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, other than like what I've seen, like and what I've been told from our friends at Daiwa, I haven't had a chance because of our winter to really fish it a whole bunch, just that one time. But there's still a place for the 4 strand. There's going to be a place for the Grand and the other 8 for sure. So once guys start figuring out what works best for them and what lures they're throwing and what reels and setups, I think everyone will kind of pick their little niche. But we got 3 really good offerings.
How much drag poundage on a SV?
On SV is 13 pounds of drag.
Guy knows more than anybody
knows
on the
everything,
planet. You would
eh?
ask him
Yeah.
anything.
But one thing I like to point
Boom.
out is on our LT spinning reels, like a 2500 series, for example, is 22 pounds of drag pressure. And that's freaking crazy.
I
so-
saw Greg Roll's eyes.
Yeah.
No.
But we got the best drag system on the market
Yo, for
by
sure.
far. And that's,
And the whole plan is to make the best engineered gear at the most affordable prices and the best, fit for retailers.
Yep.
Just sell more of it.
Yep,
And-
exactly.
And keep people happy.
Exactly. You know what? We got to make fishing work. And so we offer you like an Exist at $1,200, which we sell a ton of high-end tackle.
Yep.
We sell a ton of Steez rods. We sell a lot of, I don't even want to say lower end. Like, I don't own anything higher than a Tatula. So,
Yep.
like Greg or I, any of our guys, you guys, we could fish almost any rods and reels we wanted, right? Get them for a good deal, obviously. But I don't need anything better than that. The average guy doesn't need anything better than Tatula. Like, our stuff is getting really, really good. And anything under $200 is phenomenal.
Oh, it's
It's
you
absolutely
can't really tell the
phenomenal.
difference.
No, and I love doing that. I do at these shows all the time. I give a guy a rod. I'm like, how much do you think this is? He's like, I don't know, like $300. You're like, nah, $69.99. They're like, what? Like losing their minds, right?
It's awesome. The
Yeah.
Legalis, awesome reel. What does
Yeah.
that go for?
Legalis is $79.99 at most direct dealers.
Yep, right? It's
He's an
unbelievable.
encyclopedia.
And that's really important for young people, right? Like, it's
Yeah.
cool to have like the Exist and have like some bling bling, but you got it. The real market is that $80 to $200. Like, that's the most 90% of the market for fishing.
Yeah, it's awesome. But what's cool about it is our tournament guys are fishing the same stuff that you guys are buying.
I had a gentleman come over
Yeah.
today, and he was like, he wanted a Tatua rod, which is $169.
Yep.
A 100, and he was like, he was like talking like, I'm gonna move up, and I was like, you don't need to move up, man. You got something here that I would fish tournaments with, no problem.
Yeah. Like those elite rods, for example, like the ones the pros have been designing. Every one of those rods was designed by the guys that name is on it. Like, he picked his blank, he picked his guides, he picked what grip he wanted on it. certain key aspects of it. And, you know, Daiwa came to them and said, okay, if you guys want to do this project, because these pros were coming to Daiwa, like, guys, we want to make these rods. I want this rod. And they said, okay, if you guys want to do this, one deal. You're all only fishing elite rods then in your boat. You're all going to fish each other's rods. If you think they're good enough and we're going to go for this and brand it, then you got to fish your stuff to show that, you know, you can win a Bassmaster Elite Series or MLF Tour or FLW on these rods. No problem. All those guys are fishing those. Those rods are like $199 to $300 Canadian retail.
Yeah.
And there's one for every single application.
They're
or
that
two.
good.
Some of them are two.
They're awesome.
Yeah.
And you know what's cool about it, though, is you grab them and you see like Cody Myers drop shot and Brett Ehlers, and, you know, Cody chose a different blank and he's got different guides than what Brent likes, and it's almost
Randy
like
Howell has
Randy
dropped-
Howell. They're all, and they all feel so different. One guy likes over the other. So come down to a show, go to your dealer, pick up the rods, see what works for you.
And we still have time here.
Yeah.
Sunday, Mondays, the show's still open.
We're here
Come
for
on
2
down.
more days. Like,
I'll
come,
be here.
Come down, support it. Support
Mike will
fishing.
be here. He'll be here all four.
I'll be here.
We're gonna have a
Mike will
blast.
be here. It's gonna be a good time. Mike's a
With-
good guy.
Yeah,
With
Mike's a
bells
beauty.
on.
Great guy. We're gonna.
Mikey, what are your big plans for this year? What are you
This
doing?
year- This year, you know,
I thought you were going to tell me you're working out.
yeah,
there.
I'm trying to go for the Jamie Kennedy look. I don't know if you guys
Yeah,
see
we
him
did.
walking around here.
He looks like he just came back from Florida.
I'm hitting the gym and then I'm going tanning.
Oh, that's good. Oh, man.
No,
Okay, before-
Jamie's a great guy too. But
Yeah, what
I'm,
are you doing?
I'm just going to do my thing, do the CSFL thing.
Defend the title?
FLW Canadian Championship. I'm going to try to be the next Eric Luzak.
Oh, yeah.
That's super awesome. Is that the dream?
That's the dream. The dream's
down
always to go down south, right? That's where the big money is.
Yeah.
And we all have one way or another to get there. And
That's
hopefully-
right.
Hopefully,
See, and this
we
is
find
a
the
tournament
path.
angler is exactly what you need. You want a tournament angler here that's hungry to go down south. You
Yeah.
want that guy winning. You don't want the guys that are going to be like, yeah, well,
I've been
Yeah,
chomping,
yeah,
I've been
we have
chomping
some
at
of
the
those.
Because there's
bit.
been a few of those guys.
Yeah, we've had some of those guys who, you know.
I've been chomping at the bit and just waiting for the time to be right. The kids are getting a little bit older, so it's time's coming up soon.
That's
yeah,
awesome.
it is.
Okay, before we wrap this,
Yeah, what's up?
Shindig, you got a best fishing story?
Best fishing story.
You got one? You can do a hunting story. You do more hunting, fishing,
I don't know, man. I got a lot of stories. Like, what do you want? Like something
anything
like
you want.
comic-
Have you
Something
never watched?
juicy.
Have you never watched this show before?
Yeah, you knew it was coming.
I watched the odd episode, to be honest. I don't know, man. It's I think
You got a favorite
I'm
fishing
I'm
moment?
gonna lead in with this. I think it's a very cool sport. I haven't been doing it my whole life. I thought I was doing it my whole life, but I have not been doing fishing my whole life. You know, I was big into like motocross and snowmobile racing and all that kind of stuff as I was a kid. And then I kind of got into the hunting world a little bit later, and I was working at another company in the industry. And then I was talking to Greg, and he said, "Hey, like, we got an opportunity. Why don't you come work for us?" And we're doing these lines, and he's like, "So, like, do you know fishing?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know fishing. Like, everyone can fish. Like, this is easy, right? Like, no, everybody can fish." So, and I'm like, "No problem at all." So, I guess the funny thing was, I grew up with my medium heavy spinning rod at my cottage, just catching bass and late catching call,
Two-piece.
thinking I know,
Two-piece.
two piece for sure.
Yeah.
And you're doing going to college and hitting ponds and stuff. You're like everybody. But what's cool about it is, like in 5 years, how great I've realized the people are, the industry. That I joined the bass club right
amazing.
away.
Yeah,
Like you
yeah.
guys saw, but
Yeah.
got into it and just learned the sport the best I could. And the best part is you'll never stop learning. Like, you guys are all, tournament guys. You're always something to learn, always something to do. And I just think it's really cool.
I keep learning.
I
I'm
just
doing
think it's
it
a
wrong.
really cool thing.
Here's another thing too.
Yeah.
Before we move on to Mike, you don't have to be an angler to be part of the fishing industry.
Why did you
not
point
at
at me when you said that?
I know.
No, you know what? There's
just
so
have to be
much
good looking.
opportunity out there.
There's sales jobs.
Sales jobs get involved.
You know, you could be a
and-
guy like Chris Jones or Dave Mercer,
Yeah.
the announcers. Like, there's more than one way to skin a cat
Yeah,
here.
for sure.
Andy Pilata.
And you
Look
could be
at-
the next show
Yeah,
godfather.
there's a lot of cool opportunities in the outdoor industry.
Yeah.
So whether sales, and I always tell young guys that I get it all the time. How'd you get in this? How'd you get in this? And it just takes time. I say, go get a job at a retailer, meet a rep, network here, talk to this guy. Stuff opens up. Like, it takes time, but everyone's always. It's not necessarily an industry where there's always going to be a job application posted online, right? Looking
And
for
you
guys.
get to do
So-
a ton of cool stuff in the outdoors because of
Yeah,
the
because of
position
it.
you have.
Exactly. And, as a joke, like, people were coming up, how's it going? And, like, living the dream or what? And you're like, yeah, like, I am. Like, I'm really happy. Like, this is a lot of fun. And they're, like, getting, like, what? Really? Like, that's weird. Who actually said? But I really like it. So, shout off to everybody that's, helped me learn this industry and fishing. And
Super cool.
Anybody that tells you you can fish everything from medium and heavy rod is wrong. And don't listen to that guy at the show. So, anyways, I just want to say thanks for having me on, boys.
No problem, my man.
And yeah, shout out to the Basset Baiters and good luck to the Canadians down south fishing. Let's
Hey.
bring it
Right
home.
on.
Hey, Mikey, we need your favorite your favorite fishing story.
I don't know. I have so many
Yeah, I
fishing
know.
stories.
You
I've
hang
been
out
on
with
the
John,
water all the time.
Josh Westerdink. You gotta have a billion stories.
I love that guy, man.
Go to Mike's Instagram.
Oh, he's a crazy, crazy dude, and I love hanging out with him.
What did you guys send me the one time? The you at about 3 a.m. with the hat to my Snapchat.
It was actually on the way to the race, like
Mike?
Yeah.
FLW championship.
You know how to work
So-
Snapchat?
Well,
Oh yeah, he does.
I'm a social media guru.
How do I turn these Garmin's
Only
on?
after 11 p.m. I've seen like rock band concerts from Mike.
Oh, yeah.
Like wigs.
Yeah.
Like all kinds of great stuff.
So we have a tournament in the fall. It's a year-end classic
yeah.
tournament. And it's in October, so we kind of use the dress-up Halloween theme, and we get some pretty good wild
Yeah, for
costumes
sure.
out there. And
Tell
it's
people at
crazy.
home before we get into your story. Like, how is that open to anybody to fish?
Yeah, we run the Wednesday night clubbies every other Wednesday.
Yeah.
And we hold them on different lakes, just small little
Kawartha
venues.
Lakes?
Yep. And usually get 20 boats out there. It's a lot of fun, guys. Way to break up a work week, right?
What's the
Anybody who's
entry?
interested.
I'm going to need a partner for that series, too, if anybody's interested.
Oh my God.
man.
Is anybody
What
free to
about
fish with Kyle?
your big fish?
I hear
that you-
crickets. I hear crickets.
Yeah. And you do the
I got
big
like
bass
6
at the
pro
end of the
staff
year,
guys
right?
looking at me.
Yeah, like none of
We
us.
do the last cast for big bass, and that's
I'm gonna sign.
Thanksgiving
I'm
week.
gonna
That's a
sign
pretty
Dave
cool
Bears
one.
though up as my partner.
Yeah.
So, and how do they get a hold of you if they want to find out more information?
WilliamsOutfitters.com or go on Facebook and friend me.
Okay,
I
let's-
need some friends.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, I got a request from you like last week or something.
Well, that probably wasn't me. That must have got
Hacked
hacked.
account.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
I
you're
must
trying
have
to,
got
get your,
hacked.
trying to get your page back
Yeah.
up or something.
Favorite fishing story?
Favorite fishing story? I was fishing years ago.
Yep.
Had a motor guide,
Okay.
roll a motor, and they stick on sometimes.
Okay.
So I had
Oh,
it on
yeah.
5, and I was going through some pretty heavy stuff, musky fishing. Had a new guy with me guiding,
Yep.
and hit the motor. It was turned that way. I went that way out of the boat, and the client's sitting there. The boat's spinning around me. The client's sitting there looking at me. What do I do? What do I do?
That's awesome.
You laugh.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I
That's a good one.
I come up chuckling. It was fun.
You know what? It takes a little bit of experience to run the foot pedal way. I can just
It
imagine
does,
the look
yeah.
on that guy's
Yeah.
face.
Yeah, he's like, what do I do? I'm like, just stay there.
The-
It,
Panic.
it does though. It takes people by surprise. They hit their first time, and I mean it's good.
It is
It is good.
Guys
Trolling
who are
motor.
really good on their trolling motor. Like now that we have power poles and all that stuff.
And
like,
Ultrex and autopilot and all that.
the guys who were like back in the day who could run those before we had all that stuff, that's a bit of an art. Eh?
Yeah.
Anyway, we're good.
We're good.
We're done. That's been this
I
is.
want to stay. I want to stay.
I've had I've had a great time doing the FearFishing experiment live from the show.
Might have to do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. Putting you on the
Encore.
spot. Putting you
putting
on
me
the
on
spot.
the spot. But you guys had a good time?
I've had a great
I
time.
appreciate
man.
you guys
Yeah,
having
yeah.
me on.
Hey,
Yeah,
anytime,
thanks
brother.
a lot, guys. This was awesome.
Yeah.
John, you had a good time at the show today? Podcasting up?
I just sitting beside this guy just made my day.
As soon as I mentioned you were coming on, Sean said, Mike's sitting beside me. My buddy.
Yeah. I get to sit beside Mike. I swear to God.
I vote you guys have Mike on one night in the winter this year.
Yeah.
At
Yeah,
house,
yeah,
longer
Do
one.
that for sure.
He's
Yeah.
good. He's
Love
got
to.
he's got a voice for radio for sure.
Yeah, maybe.
Turn the
I don't
cameras
know.
off, but
yeah, that's it.
All right, Roddy, are we ready to roll out of here? Everybody, thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for
Thanks a
joining
lot,
us.
guys.
If you're anywhere near the area, come down to the Toronto.
You will have a
Ring.
blast.
You will have a blast. We'll be at the Daiwa.
2 more days.
You'll be at the Crestliner?
Crestliner and Garmin tomorrow.
Perfect.
And big thanks to Andy.
Yeah,
for letting
Andy.
us do this. This
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
a lot of logistical stuff, and that was badass of him.
Yeah.
It's wicked.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Peace.
Thank you.
Thanks, boys.
Hey, no problem.
Wicked.
you wanna make, take what you wanna take, pray for what you wanna pray, say what you wanna say. A true believer, a seeker, my own keeper, getting deeper. Indeed, you can back this up into your pot like Mr. Tiva. Cause if you leave a speaker reader like me up on your speaker, then be sure you will receive a peace of mind up on your meter. In a world as a mythological creator of these creatures, their features, many impostures, these demons and leeches. We'll see it in the bleachers, won't teach us to take action in the satisfaction of new ideas that are in the passage. Well, peace of mind, you are ahead of your time, and sometimes your bottom line ain't seen until your prime is behind. But if your rhymes move through time with the structure design, then the mind that it finds will ensure the vine will be fine. Say what you wanna say, play what you wanna play, trade what you wanna trade, pay what you wanna pay, make what you wanna make, take what you wanna take, pray for what you wanna pray, say what you wanna say what you wanna say, play what you wanna play, trade what you wanna trade, pay what you wanna pay, make what you wanna make, take what you wanna take, pray for what you wanna pray, say